today about is diversifying your e-content strategy. So please welcome Lynda Mann.
Wonderful, thanks, Steve. Oop. Get a little closer here. So Steve already gave a fantastic intro, so I won't spend a ton of time talking about myself, but a little bit about me is I've worked on both the advertiser side and the publisher side. I came from a company that actually bought traffic with a bunch of publishers in the past, a subscription-based information services company. It's just as boring as it sounds for me to say. And then I went over to Wirecutter most recently, really to just build out their content commerce strategy, grow revenue there. Very exciting place. And then moved to DigitalTrends most recently as they were really heavily leveraged in social video, doing some very, very exciting things there that Wirecutter just wasn't yet equipped to do. And that's something that is an area that's just innately interesting to me. I want to tackle it. I want to kind of understand how we can try to layer in those commerce touch points there. It's an area that I think the entire market is struggling with. But really, I wanted to talk a little bit about a topic that I had to kind of shoulder when I was at Wirecutter, which was, I don't know if most of you understand or heard about this, but in the news in about 2017, Amazon decided to cut their affiliate rates. Does anybody hear about that? No? No? One person? Thanks. It's a big deal. So one thing, some of us larger publishers got a little bit more notice. They gave bloggers and a lot of the smaller publishers about a week. And why this is significant and why it's really, really something that the rate cuts were so massive that some of these publishers saw their business just cut in half within the span of about 2 days. So that's something that really forced a lot of us to look at on the larger scales. How do we make sure that we're a little bit? How do we make sure we're not over leveraged here? How do we make sure that we're safeguarded? So before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about some of the reasons this stream is really important to both publishers and to brands. So. For advertisers, it's a very, very low risk, low acquisition channel. They're only paying if they sell a product. They're capturing a lot of great in-market customers. And for us as publishers, it's a stable source of revenue. It earns in the background. We don't have to have a massive sales team out all the time. We can put up a link, put up a piece of content, and update it. It's pretty low lift for the most part. Really helps us diversify from our sales force. Here's a picture of what the Amazon rate card looked like before the cut. So you can see this right here. If you're a publisher, moving a bunch of product, if you're a blogger, you're doing pretty good. If you're moving 3,000 products a month, you're earning 8.5% on anything. That's anything you write about. T-shirt, computer, whatever you want. So this is really, really nice. If you were a blogger or any sort of publisher, this was something where, it was really just a volume game at that point. This is a little hard for you to read. This is the cut. This is the rate card as it sits currently. So you can see there, unless you're hawking luxury beauty or Amazon coins, don't even know what Amazon coins are, you took a pretty significant cut. So, if you think about that, back to that top tier of 8.5%, there's nothing here outside of luxury beauty and Amazon coins that's even close to that. The biggest technology publishers, electronics, if you were in that vertical, you saw, 2% for televisions. So again, short period over time, that was something that, just was crippling to a lot of publishers. And before we, got the phone call to talk about this was something that, was very, very alarming. So once they did that, really we had to kind of think about, Digiday, everybody had to think about, okay, we got to double down here. We got to look at our internal processes and see where we can try to make sure we're safe. So I showed a couple examples, really from Insider Picks, Business Insider's brand. It's hard to see up there, but these are commerce links. These are commerce placements, and this is sort of how we're all trying to kind of diversify in this landscape, get away from Amazon, strengthen our relationships with our partners. Affiliate's a very interesting channel in that about 90% of our relationships are client direct versus agency. So it's actually been a very interesting way for us to, start conversations for some of our media teams, for some of our direct teams. But you'll see up here, in the Insider Picks example, there's one link up there for Amazon. You got links for Ulta, you got links for Sephora. For us, we're surfacing some buttons that are both featuring Walmart, Crutchfield, just competitors in the space where we can not only have a direct conversation with about media, but we can also talk about having a more holistic package. This is another thing that a lot of us are doing, which is just getting out and away from categories that Amazon sells. So product categories, looking into services, subscriptions, app downloads. You can see Wirecutter over here. They're getting massively and massively diverse, so they're not so caged by the product categories that Amazon is focusing on. And then just some thoughts on really where I think the industry is headed and some things that I'm really, really excited about. I'll share a little case study from a partnership that we did with Dell. So really, if you're thinking about acquisition and thinking about this channel, we were able to put together a piece of content for Dell, leading to Dell Marketplace, not some place that I think anybody ever probably thinks to buy products. I don't know how many people in here really knew that they were selling Bose headphones or other things, but that's something that was really, really important to them as a brand. So up on that top, those top stats, that's Google. So $15,000 in spend, estimate, you get 9,000 clicks, $1.63 CPC. This is a small test that we run with our inside sales team on the affiliate side. They spend about $5,000, one little piece of content, cost us almost nothing. Dell saw 3,000 clicks and climbing within the span of a couple of days and 80-cent CPC. So you look at the economics of that as a brand, you rethink maybe some of your, SEM dollars, moving that in different places and really trying to, hammer home some of the events and things that you're doing on the brand side. It's very interesting. Another thing that we are doing really, and that a lot of brands are doing, I think CNN, a lot of companies, a lot of these publishers, we're trying to kind of collapse our sales forces. If, we're in a unique position, we're still small enough where, I can still call up a sales team. We're not huge, they'll take my call. But, trying to see how we can be a little bit smarter and collapse the funnel to a degree. So, this is something that we did with with HP, where we featured them in a video to promote an anniversary sale. That's a very, very heavy awareness. That was something that our media team sold around as well. And then we produced content that was lower funnel that really drove sales and engagement to their sale. Saw a lot of success there. And one of the things I'm most excited about, which I think that, Complex was up here earlier, doing a lot of great things, hot ones. I buy the hot sauce, I love it. As a consumer, the branded and sponsored branded and sponsored products is something that I think we'll see a lot of in the future. And I want to play a quick video on that.
All-Star games are great, they're the best in the world. But some of the hardest basketball games that I've ever seen have taken place in the park. The international pickup game rule. No blood, no fucking foul. I don't care. Check. I like these guys. You too. See that picture right there? This dope street photographer named 13th Witness. He shot that picture. I'm gonna hook you up with some Levi's gear. We're gonna meet some cool people.
Here we go.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Mustachio, that's a layup.
It's not a layup contest.
So we are all here for this today. Adidas Chinese New Year shoe. It says my name on the box. I feel like Charles Barkley up in this bitch. Oh, this is a nice shoe. You don't see many boots with that leather in the front. You don't see many with this Chinese New Year. We're gonna race. Yeah, let's race. The reason we're waiting until after the haircut is just so I'm more aerodynamic. We like to celebrate Afro-Asiatic Caribbean food cultures.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the best bite if you want it. Oh yeah. Sensual.
My vision for this was really to try to have like a town hall meeting and a gathering. Instead of having a typical sneaker drop, making it like a more cultural experience, get some of the legendary OGs in here.
Hey guys, I'm Matty Matheson. Today, you're gonna really see what happens behind the scenes on what it's like to be Matty Matheson while making a commercial.
Why the fuck is there a treadmill? What the fuck? Like, is this... I'm making money? What is it?
Making a lot of money.
How much money?
I am Matty Matheson, and I am here in the most glorious studio ever. Sorry. Are we proud of what we've created? Check.
Matt's in the house.
Boom.
Don't you want to see what the fuck that's about? Yeah!
So that's Network, someone that I'm watching really closely. I'm really excited about. They're, as publishers, we have this unique opportunity. We provide independence, we provide authenticity, and a lot of just great distribution. So I was at a conference last week speaking with folks from CNN, Business Insider, CBS, and this is an area that everyone's looking at right now to try to diversify their commerce revenue streams, work on, probably not something quite at that scale, but instead of just the traditional model of, hey, we'll promote your brand, we'll put a link up, they're going to click, working together, collaborating on something that, is true to their editorial voice and their model, and then it's something that really, you get a much higher margin on the back end as a publisher. So, yeah, with that was a pretty quick little twirl. Does anyone have any questions?
How is, are you finding any impact of affiliate links on your SEO strategy and on Google, on discoverability on Google?
I'm sorry, did you say impact?
Do affiliate links on your pages impact your SEO?
They do, yes.
Up or down?
Down for the most part if we're not careful. So yeah, that's definitely something that.
Well, what are some of the things you need to do to ensure against it?
Google's. I mean, they're as much as they're a scary beast. So they're pretty smart. So making sure that things are put in there organically. You're not just adding links wherever to add a link. Making sure things look organic. There's not just you're not putting something in every single paragraph just for it to be there.
Hi, Dustin Park from Penske Media. I was curious about the Dell campaign and the CPC you were talking about. Was that CPC to gain traffic on your site, and how much money how did you measure profitability on those campaigns?
Yeah, so profitability for us was very high. It was really just producing the content and then setting it live. For Dell, the CPC was really for how many clicks that we were sending to Dell Direct to their marketplace.
So it was like a sponsored article more so than an affiliate link for that campaign. Got it. Mm-hmm.
Is Amazon negotiable? I mean, I've had some publishers who have talked about going back to Amazon and cutting deals with Amazon to change their rate.
Yeah, they're negotiable to a degree. They're definitely a put up or shut up type person, right? Obviously, they're not going to increase rates for nothing. So that sort of creates a whole nother problem for you. So they're definitely someone that you try to keep at bay, but also play nicely with, and you can kind of choose to go the real hyper aggressive route, or kind of choose to try to diversify.
Because we all need another frenemy. How does video perform relative to text in terms of affiliate links within, say, YouTube, beneath a YouTube video?
Yeah, really the infrastructure is not super great there. I mean, attribution and bleed is a big problem still with video and social. So, I mean, it's performing probably at 15% the rate that just regular content is performing.
Lynda, thank you very much for that overview.
Thank you.